Hi, I'm Ange.
I'm Cindy.
We run a small shop called Faking Sanity, and so welcome to Faking Sanity's Knitting and Spinning podcast. We're in Dawson Creek, BC, Canada, and you can find us if you're local in Dawson Creek, obviously. If you're on Ravelry, you can find us at Faking Sanity, is the name of our group, and on Instagram, where we are Faking Sanity.
So a lot of knitting podcasts start with, them asking each other, how your week's been? We kind of don't bother with that because we spend all our time together.
It's true.
We've been best friends, roommates for like 20 years and business partners for 7.
Yeah. We didn't start out as best friends. We actually met the day I moved in. She and a friend of hers were looking for a roommate. I was looking to get out of my current living arrangements when we lived in Calgary. So I knocked on the door and said, "Hi, I'm your new roommate. Scooch over while I move in my stuff."
And, we didn't hate each other by the time we moved out of there. So we found another place together. And then eventually we became friends.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Within a few years.
And then, like 7 years ago, we decided to start a business together. Yeah. So now we work about 60 hours a week together and then go home to our shared apartment because we're poor. Broke. Relatively. We're broke. That's a better word. And then we either, hide from each other or watch hockey together.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. and we both love a variety of crafty things. You've seen Cindy's cross stitch and both of our knitting. We also both crochet. She actually taught me how to crochet.
Oh, and we didn't kill each other. It was a miracle.
Was close. It was so when I wanted to learn to knit, we took a class together.
Yes.
we I think as business partners complement each other quite well because we agree on the end result, but how we approach things is pretty much the exact opposite.
And we speak like different languages.
Bonjour.
Literally. And also just when it comes to, explaining how the yarn should go over the needle.
Front to back or right to left.
Yeah.
I don't speak your language.
No, we really don't. So, and other crafts I do chainmail. I make chainmail jewelry and
awesome stitch markers too.
Stitch markers. Someday I'll show some.
Yeah.
And I make fidget
toys.
I'm like, what are they called? The things. And you do all sorts of things. Aromatherapy, soap. She makes really great soap.
And the testers stay at our place, so sometimes we get the ones that didn't color quite right.
Oh, yeah. Or don't lather for unknown reasons.
Yeah. Oh, the shea butter. Too much shea butter.
Yeah.
But she's complaining about the soap we have right now, apparently.
No, it's fine. Though I used your... Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, that's us. You'll hear a little bit more about us
as we go
through various podcasts in little bits. But we thought since this one was a little bit closer to the last one, we'd share a little bit more about who we are. And yeah.
And we're both, I was going to say we're both in our 40s, but as of January, I'll be 40.
Yeah.
Hence the
gray. You've had gray hair.
I've had gray hair since I was about 17, but I take after my mom. She's completely white, and she's been, pretty much completely white since I was 28. Yeah, since you cut your hair, it's a lot more visible.
Anyway, that's us. So why don't we start with whips, our works in progress? We've done a bit of knitting this week, which has been fun.
Yeah, well, I only have one whip, so you start.
Okay. Okay. Last week was about mocking me about my FO that didn't have ends woven in, so I'll jump in with mocking me myself so nobody else can. I showed this awesome Bis-Sock colorway by Biscotte and Compagnie in the Tangfish colorway, and I had talked about how I was making my sock. My sock.
Yes.
We also mocked me about not being able to speak, so apparently
but that's
things are
a
right
common
on course.
Thing. Yeah.
We also talked about how I have on occasion done a heel flap sock, but done a toe-up sock and done the flap on the bottom of the heel. So it's nice and cushy right on the bottom of your heel, and then you do the heel turn and pick up the stitches like you normally would. I don't know if you can see, but the back of this sock has a heel flap and then a rather square, all of a sudden leg, because I apparently forgot to do the heel turn. I just picked up the stitches and carried on, and I knit like 15 rows.
Yeah, that's a good inch there, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, more than that.
Okay.
But yeah, so my heel flap finished here. I've knit all of this, so like 2 full collar repeats of the stripe before I realized, hey, this is looking weird, and then I realized I didn't do the heel flap, or I didn't do the heel turn. So I'll be ripping this back, but I wanted to show that I can mock myself too.
We make mistakes so often. I have so many projects I've ripped back.
How do you forget a heel turn when you're knitting a sock? I've knit tons of socks.
I'm not sure, but you're just so excited about getting back into, you know, the cool stripies.
It is so cool. I love these colors.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Frogging the heel a 4th time. At least only part of the heel this time. The heel flap's fine. I just need to tear out the stockinette I did afterwards. So, do you want to do yours next?
Okay, I've got... so I showed off a cowl I had finished I don't know. I think I'd finished it last week.
Yeah.
So I started making a matching hat. And it's just from a Caron Big Cake.
Matches your shirt.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I don't know if this is my color or who I'm making it for, but, and I did about 4 different patterns in this hat, and I just never liked any of them. So I defaulted to the one that Angel made.
It's a nice pattern, and it's super
really
stretchy.
is.
It'll fit
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah, I can't really show it off because I'm on 16-inch needles, but yeah, it's really squishy.
Yeah.
And what's the pattern called? I don't even know. She told me what the pattern was, and I did it.
It's called the Easy Faux Brioche Hat and Scarf Set by Cristina Frerking on Ravelry.
Yeah, and it's great.
Are you
it's
doing
really
it according
simple.
to pattern, or did you change anything?
I am doing it according to pattern, except that I realized that I did the purl row before the knit row. So I think when I finish, I might fudge the decreases, and when I finish, turn it inside out.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't tend to knit, I don't know, I don't tend to do a pattern exactly as called for.
Yeah.
I hack a lot of them. But
usually small ones like that.
Yeah.
Like just...
Yeah. And this one, you can show yours because that's your next whip, right?
Yeah.
Mine has smaller color repeats because I actually cut up the Caron Big Cake and made smaller repeats. But
Whereas I was lazy and decided however long the repeats are, that's how long they'll be. So I decided on this one. I liked the other one so much, I decided to cast on a second one right away as one of my charity hats. So one of the things I had said last time was... that I was challenging myself to something.
You didn't say it.
But I never elaborated on what it was. So this month being Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in Canada, I thought I would knit a bunch of hats for the local oncology ward. Somebody came in and asked if we could mention that to our local knitting ladies. So I thought, what better way to encourage people to do it than to show off a finished one already. So I'm starting off with one of these. So it can be worn with the brim unfolded. I'll do it long enough that it'll be a slouchy hat with the brim unfolded, or like a warm cozy hat with the brim folded up. So it'll finish probably in this green. It might go to the slightly darker like forest green just for the crown. But it's a nice cozy pattern. It's a soft yarn. It's not scratchy, and it's not high maintenance, which I've had people close to me who've dealt with breast cancer, so I know the chemo can be pretty rough, and you don't want extra work. You don't want to have to worry about hand washing or anything like that. So this will be my first one, and then I'm going to try and challenge myself to do at least a couple more this month. And then, sorry, my needles are dangling together. I like working on 2 circs when I'm in the round, so I get a random clicky wind chime everywhere I go. But yeah, so I'll do a couple more of these this month. I'm hoping to get 3 done this month. And then I will try and do 6 more for the end of the year. So they might be done over the Christmas holidays, but I'll try and get at least 1 done a month and then do the last few over Christmas.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we take a week off at Christmas, so it tends to be our time to do, lots of knitting. Though, hockey started this week, so I got some knitting done. You have one more whip.
I do.
Go for it.
I actually, last week I showed off a finished hand spun yarn, which was my Grey Humbug Haunui from Heavenly Wools. It's a fingering weight yarn once I washed it up, about 400 yards. And I'm really thrilled with how it turned out. And it was my first attempt at trying to meet a particular gauge to get a pattern. So I'm doing the, I'm just going to get the, I was going to say author's name.
The author's
I work in
name.
a bookstore.
Yeah.
The designer's name is Danielle Morgan, and it's the Returning Shawl on Ravelry. And I just love it. And so it starts out, it's just kind of a modern take on a hap shawl, so a plain stockinette or garter center, either square or triangular, and then some sort of wave pattern on the edge, like old shale or feather and fan, that sort of thing. So I'm just starting on the triangular part right now. So you can just sort of see the subtle color shifts in there. I'm doing it at a pretty open gauge, so it'll be a bigger shawl. But this yarn blooms a fair bit when I wash it, so I think that'll close up the fabric really nicely.
Yeah.
So, and I'm actually debating
some different color choices.
different color combinations for the end. So this is kind of like a grayish brown. It's got some sections that are more a silvery gray, but mostly it's this kind of taupey gray. And I've got...
That's not taupe.
Taupey gray.
That's taupe.
No, this is more oatmeal.
We also don't see colors the same.
So I've got some more Haunui from a natural color pack, and this is the light gray on the top here. And
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. There was a fly.
Sure there was. So this is the light gray, and this one is the light oatmeal. And I'm thinking of using them together for one of the lighter stripes, kind of next to the gray brown. But the other option is to go with this dark gray Haunui or some dark brown.
I'm like, we really see colors differently if you were calling that gray.
This dark chocolate brown Haunui, but I don't have much of it, so I might use it with some Shetland that I have that's about the same color. These shawls are supposed to be like everyday shawls, not really fine, delicate shawls, so I don't think the Shetland will break that at all. They're traditionally done out of Shetland wool. And if I go with that dark chocolate color, I'm thinking that this will be the big pop of color between the two for the stripes.
I think that would just look amazing.
And this is more Haunui. This is still the light gray humbug blend, which is, it means it's all the different grays kind of blended vertically through the braid like that. So there's light gray, medium, and dark, but then she overdyed it with her sapphire colorway. It's gorgeous fiber. I just love the depth of color when you dye over naturally colored fiber.
Yeah.
Same with yarn. I used to dye yarn for an Etsy shop years ago and at our local yarn store, and I loved over dyeing natural grays and taupes and oatmeals and stuff. It's just beautiful fiber. So that's from Kate at Heavenly Wools. So the shawl will be mostly her stuff, maybe with a bit of the Shetland.
Yeah, I think the color she's already knitting with, and then this blue, and then the dark chocolate is my favorite.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not the one wearing it, so.
It would be nice.
It would look lovely.
Fabulous.
I just love blue with brown.
Yeah. I might. I'm leaning that way, but we'll see. I've got
Give her your opinion.
Oh, yeah. Let us know. If you have an opinion, let us know in the comments or on our Ravelry group.
I dropped my stitch marker for the round. Oh, well. Yeah, I found the stitch marker. I meant...
you don't know when you dropped it.
It's easy to see where the round is. That's all right. I'll put it in later. Okay, I won't knit.
That will teach you for knitting on the podcast.
That's not a
so
bad
those
thing.
are our whips this week.
So FOs?
Yeah, start with your FOs.
Okay.
You have a couple,
two.
right?
No, I've got two, and then my lucky dip pull from last week. So both of mine, I do not have the ends woven in yet.
No, not woven in. That's not an FO. If you were here last week, she mocked me for calling it an FO with ends still not woven in.
I did.
That's not an FO.
And I'm usually really
bad.
I'm usually really bad. Hence why I have my lucky dip. I'm usually really bad at weaving in ends and blocking things. But hats, I don't know why, I find it a lot easier.
They're small projects, so it's nice to get them finished.
So this is a Sockhead Slouch hat. I probably got it wrong. Oh, no, I did! Sockhead Slouch hat by Kelly McClure. I think everybody has knit one of these at some point.
Except me.
Yeah, well, it's miles and miles of fingering.
Well, and I never... I used to have long hair until this summer, and it just didn't look good on me, that shape of hat. So I never knit.
Most hats looked silly on her. Now they look great. I did a lot less of the ribbing because I don't really fold up my brim. But yeah, and this yarn is Hat Trick. It is dyed by Ancient Arts exclusively for River City in River City Yarn Shop in Edmonton. And this is the colorway Pittsburgh because it's the old colors of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Unfortunately, in the last year, they've changed this kind of.
But they went back to their classic colors.
Well, they went back to their classic colors, but like they call it Vegas gold. It's now like yellow. It's the same color as the Bruins, which is terrible.
It's not quite. It's a little
different, but I still love it. I started this more than a year ago.
A couple of years ago, didn't you?
I started it, I think, actually during the 2016 Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh.
But I've decided that this hat was very good luck because they won the Stanley Cup in 2016 and 2017. But now I finished this literally during their first game of this season. And because these skeins are massive, they're 150 grams.
They are. There's tons
I
of
have
yardage.
enough left over. I think I'm going to make socks. And I don't normally wear knit socks.
Oh,
because
you totally should. It'll be
I know.
so nice.
I overheat really easily.
Or do them as mittens.
I know, but now I have other stuff to do as mittens. So I don't usually wear knit socks because I spend 9 hours a day on my feet at the store and I overheat. But I figured, and then the first thing I do when I get home is take off. Well, I change into my pajamas because I love pajamas.
You can make slippers or looser house socks.
But the thing is, I like bare feet at home. But I've decided I'm going to knit myself some socks and I'm going to wear them in the spring and the fall. I just won't wear them in the winter when, we have our heat up to umpteen million degrees because everybody whines. Or in the summer when it's, hot for Dawson Creek. So yeah.
Good disclaimer.
Yes, yeah, it's not. It gets hot. 25
hot
degrees.
For me is 20, so when it hits 25 and 26, I'm like, I'm dying.
So yeah, this is my lovely one hat I finished this week. I can't believe I've been working on it for like a year and a half, and I sat down and finished it
in a day.
Like, why didn't I?
You finished a second hat this week.
I did, but you've got a F. Oh no, you don't have an FO this week, do you?
No,
okay.
I don't. I started a bunch of new stuff.
Another hat.
When you have too many FOs or whips, what you do is start more.
Well, yeah, I have a lot of things I should be working on, but I bought this awesome kit.
I love this. Are you going to put the pom-pom on?
No. I'm anti pom-pom. I got this awesome kit for the Hudson's Bay inspired beanie at Pam's Woolly Shop in Stony Plain. Mm-hmm. I'm like, is it Stony Plain or Spruce Grove?
Plain.
Yeah, Stony Plain.
And for those of you who aren't Canadian, the Bay is a big chain store here that was.
It's basically Canadian history. It is the company that owned most of Canadian land until
initial fur trading and all that was all Hudson's Bay's, and this was the classic kind of stripe pattern on white or on gray. Some of the wool blankets were on gray, but that's
I just ate fuzz.
The Bay.
Yeah,
is this.
They had these Bay blankets that everyone owned.
Yeah,
and so this is inspired by them. And this again, I haven't woven in my ends because I finished it this morning.
Yeah, okay, I'll give
while
you
watching
that.
hockey. See, hockey's good for my knitting.
It is. We actually both get a lot more knitting done in the winter, not just because we're inside more, because we're not. I'm inside just as much in the summer, because I'm allergic to everything when it's not covered in snow.
Yeah.
But hockey time is great for knitting and spinning.
Yes. Yeah. So you are supposed to put a pom-pom on it. I am anti pom-pom. I do not like pom-poms, tassels.
It's a cute hat without, though. You have a tassel.
I have a tassel. Yeah, pom-poms, tassels, fringe.
You should wear it like that.
Yeah.
It's a great look. Yeah.
Anyway, but once again, I ended up with
lots of excess.
Tons left over. Even enough.
She's hitting me with everything.
Sorry.
Today.
Even enough of the little colors. I think I'm going to make fingerless mitts out of them. That should be plenty.
Yeah. You totally should.
And yeah, and I figured I'd do the striping colors on them somewhere as well. I haven't figured out. I'm just going to use a basic fingerless mitt pattern.
Yeah. Main morning mitts.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the basic fingerless mitt pattern.
Sorry, that was off the cuff, which I don't usually do, so I don't have the designer.
Main morning mitts was Clara Parks, wasn't it?
I don't know. It was in a book.
Yeah, I think it's Clara Parks. Anyway, I
can't check because I could check on my phone which we're recording on. So we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's Clara Parks. Yeah. So, and the yarn is Estelle Chunky, which I have never knit with before.
I was surprised at how soft this was.
It's fabulous. It's 50% acrylic, 40% wool, and 10% nylon.
Yeah. And it's got this really nice sort of natural soft halo, not as much as a brushed mohair or something, but
and which is good for me because my hands are very dry.
She has sandpaper.
I have sandpaper hands. I'm terrible. I moisturize a lot. They're still sandpaper hands, so I tend to create a halo on all my yarns anyway. So it works for me. But yeah, it's a great yarn and really soft, and it was great to knit with. Uh-huh. And I love chunky yarn because it knits up so fast. I mean, I love fingering weight yarn because it's so pretty. Mm-hmm. They seem to just everyone dyes fingering weight yarn so nicely.
Yeah. And there's lots more opportunity for like long color repeats and that sort of thing because you have more yardage in a ball.
Or the pretty self-striping that's behind us. Yeah. Oh, and lots of other things. We have lots of, we should talk about some of our yarn in the store sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so that was my other FO. And
it's such a cute hat.
I really like it. This one is going to be for me, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I don't know. If I show it off and people like it, maybe I'll get some of that Estelle Chunky and make more.
Yeah.
Because it was such a fast knit, and it's so Canadian.
It's uber Canadian.
It's like the maple leaf. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's my FOs.
Okay, we should, so one segment Sorry,
my next one. I do have one more FO.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I was going to say our next segment is one we call our Whip Lucky Dip. So last week we brought out a bag of Cindy's half or nearly finished projects, and kind of randomly drew one out of the bag, and what she picked out, what I drew out randomly was her Orchid Thief shawl. So she blocked it.
All that was left on it was blocking. See, I have 15 bajillion.
Only 67.
Well, no, I'm sure I've started more since then. It's all about the knitting for me.
Yeah.
So I will get pretty much done, and then I will leave it with the ends not woven in or blocked.
We're both very much process knitters.
Yeah.
The end product is secondary.
Yeah. Unless I'm doing it for someone, though, sometimes. Okay, so this week I had this bag hanging on the back of my bedroom door for a couple years that I just kept kind of putting in stuff that needed to come to the store at some point. Well, I finally grabbed it this week, and I got to the store and I was emptying it out, and it was like empty plastic bags that we, give to people when they buy books and that kind of stuff. And in the very bottom was a shawl I had knit for my sister 2 years ago for her birthday.
Yeah.
June 2015.
Hanging on a door the whole time.
I had given it to her, but then we decided that it really needed like a big button with a I-cord loop on it. So I took it home and I did that, and then I put it in this bag.
And it never moved.
2 years. I felt so bad. So I brought it in. She works for us, so she was thrilled.
Yeah. She was surprised because she had forgotten about it too.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad. But usually I'm a little better with present ones. But
yeah,
I have bins of basically almost finished projects. Yeah. So that's what my lucky dip is. I'm trying to be guilted by the podcast into finishing them.
Guilt is a wonderful thing.
Guilt is a great motivator. Blah, 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 blah.
It's not motivator. Great for speaking. But...
No. Okay, so this is the Orchid Thief by Isolde Teague in Turtle Cove Farm Turtle Feet.
It's beautiful.
And the colorway is a go-go, which, I don't know, that's really fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if you saw it last week, but it opened up tons.
It did. And
it's lovely.
The leaves at the top are just gorgeous detail.
I love that.
I love
it
that.
Is my favorite part of this shawl is just this little, it starts with these 3 leaves, and then on the end, it ends with the leaves.
Each tip has one of the leaves.
Yeah. And I'm not really a shawl wearer, but I do tend to wear them in the winter as a scarf. I just kind of
Scrunch it up.
and then throw my coat on.
Yeah.
So that holds them.
Color.
I do also have a shawl pin, but like I said, work 60 hours a week.
Shawls
I'm
aren't
not going to wear a
convenient in
shawl
kitchen.
around here. Yeah.
And we all kind of
We all bleach our clothes by
well,
accident.
and I was going to say we all have our designated spots in the store, but we all shift as one section gets busier. So Cindy might usually work in the front, but she might end up in the kitchen doing dishes partly, and or working at the stove flipping a sandwich or something.
Yes,
so
I'm not going to be wearing a shawl.
You don't want to be wearing shawls or anything that can catch.
Yeah, it would catch
in
fire.
somebody's food or
catch fire.
Yeah.
Now, so I knit this in 2011 and finally blocked it. But the minute I finished this one, I liked it so much that I knit another one for Angel. So turn it around. You got it backwards.
Oh, yeah. So
this,
I love this.
Yeah.
So it's the same pattern.
But with much
By
thicker
Isolde
yarn.
Teague, the Orchid Thief, but it's done in Cascade Echo. And their colors don't all have names, but this one is the
doesn't have a name,
natural
did it? Oh.
dark brown. It's color 8095. It's this rich, chocolatey brown.
Well, even with the natural ones, even each time they...
Because animals
can
don't
change.
obey dye locks.
And yes.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's just rude.
Cascade Echo is one of my favorite yarns.
It's
yeah.
fabulous.
It's a really crunchy 100% wool.
It's Highland wool.
Yeah, I don't know why I use crunchy, but it's fabulous.
It's a good workhorse yarn. It's not necessarily, like, I wouldn't wear a scarf out of it, but a shawl that sits on my neck loosely is totally fine. It's a little scratchy for some people maybe, but like for me on a shawl, it's perfect. I wear this, it sits on my computer chair, and when I'm cold, I wrap up in it.
And I mean, obviously, this is the 3rd time we have shown two of the same pattern in different yarns.
And these were both knit exactly to pattern, so there's no extra stitches or anything. It's just because it's difference in gauge for the bigger yarn. So,
which is really fun. So you don't have to use the yarn that a pattern calls for.
Yep, use what you have.
I never do. I hack a lot. You'll see. But yeah.
And it's cool here right now, so I told her I was going to...
I'm not cool.
I overheat
cool
today.
I overheat.
So I said I was going to wear this one for the podcast because I wanted to cover my arms.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, okay, so that was my lucky dip for last week. Yeah, I have so many things. But yeah, so...
It's lucky dip time.
It's my... Was that like your little
no, it was
theme
just
song?
Crazy.
Okay, so yeah, I have all sorts of projects in here.
Okay.
I don't even remember. I packed this up like before we did the first podcast, which was like 6 weeks ago. So don't even remember what's in here. Okay. Did you want to open it? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was trying to read through the bag what it was.
Oh. Okay. So again, it is another one that I just have to weave in ends and block.
I love this one. I actually bought the pattern as well because I'm going to knit it at some point.
So it's a scarf basically.
Yeah.
The pattern is for scarf or stole. So the pattern is Aphasia by Patty Waters, and I just loved it because aphasia is a condition where you can forget you forget words. Like it's a word you've known your entire life, and then all of a sudden it's just not there anymore. And she called it that because it kind of
Actually, it's both of us.
Yeah.
To be fair, but I just throw in a French word if I can't think of the English one.
She does. And she just kind of brings that out by kind of shifting the pattern. It doesn't show up great in the multicolor.
No, I love the lines though. Like there's the yarn over rows, and then these little V's of lace shift all the way through, and they repeat about every 4 inches on Cindy's gauge here. And it's
it'll
such
show
a
better once I
pretty
block
pattern.
it.
Yeah, so it's not opened at all yet.
I've got ends and blocking on this one again. The yarn it's a Fleece Artist yarn.
I love Fleece
we love
Artists.
Fleece Artist.
We have a lot of Fleece Artists here in the store because we both love it.
This was, I think, Well, no, it's not the one I bought, was it?
No,
It's one
I
you
bought this one
and
and
then
we traded it for something.
we traded it.
We trade a lot of yarn back and forth because we share a lot of the same preferences for yarns.
Yeah. So it's Fleece Artist Nyoni, and this was back before they put colorways on their skeins. But it's, I mean, blues and purples and blacks. That is.
I love the
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 purple's
really
not
bright,
really showing up.
I love there's
camera.
kind of like a royal purple that's almost
Yeah.
like it's really dark, almost black, but really
Not showing up.
deep purple. It's just gorgeous. I love their colors.
But yeah,
they're
so
amazing dyers.
The Nyoni base is 65% wool, 20% mohair, 10% nylon, and 5% silk, which is shocking to me because usually I hate mohair.
But
But
little
it
bit is
doesn't.
nice.
It doesn't feel it at all. It's just lovely. And I got the yarn at the Knitting Room in Calgary, which is one of the. Oh, sorry. I got some other fleece artists there. That was the first place we ever saw fleece artist. And
when we went to Vancouver, our trip to a Fibre Fest, I bought my silk there.
I thought that was after.
No, because it was still make one. We were living in a different part of Calgary, so we had a different yarn shop the first couple of years.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, we really like fleece artists and handmade. They're the same. Well, I mean, the same.
We ordered them from the same lovely people, so to us they're the same.
Yes. And I knit this. I wrote down, not sure when, at least 2 years ago, but I'd say probably more than that.
You knit it. It was right after the pattern came out.
Yeah. But it's lovely, and it'll be great once I block it. So I think I'm going to block it quite
lengthwise.
I don't know.
But you like a pretty short scarf.
Well, a little longer
Scarf.
than
Scarf.
A scarf. Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna wear it as a scarf.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll see. I'll block that, and I'll have it ready for next podcast.
It's so pretty. It's so soft too. This was one of my favorite bases.
Yeah, I
I
don't
haven't
normally
seen
like.
it recently, but
It's not one they have anymore, which
it's
we know.
lovely.
'Cause, yeah.
It's too bad.
A lot of the bases that we've gotten from fleece artists over the years,
But
they
they're
don't do anymore. And
Every yarn company updates their bases
yeah.
and tries new stuff.
But
and
their
new
colorways-
stuff is still fabulous.
oh yeah,
So-
and their colorways are absolutely gorgeous. I kind of want to just. Okay, I'm gonna be bad.
Cindy's gonna
and-
grab a few skeins to show you.
Going to grab a few shades. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna show off the ones I really love. This is Blackberry.
Yeah.
And
Grab the
Nova Scotia.
No, the one below it too.
Oh, okay. This is Nova Scotia. This I knit my sister a hat and scarf out of.
Yeah. You knit apple pie, right?
I knit apple pie for the hat and just enough ruffles for the scarf. She loved it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
then,
it's such a squishy yarn.
and of course,
We love the Parks yarn. Everybody loves the Park yarn. I think every shop that carries it sold out and ordered more.
We sold out in 2 days.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone has heard about this. Oops,
So
upside down.
for Canada's 150th anniversary this year, Fleece Artist did this range of colorways. There's one for every province and territory, and each province's yarn is inspired by the colors of one of their national parks.
Yeah.
And they do amazing colors. Like
this
that one's
is-
Northwest Territories.
Yeah, Aluvik. I can't pronounce it. Aluvik, sure. In the Northwest Territories, and there's Riding Mountain, New Brunswick.
Manitoba.
Sorry, Manitoba. I saw MB and went NB, and then went. That makes no sense.
And they even say like what the inspiration is. Like this one
Yeah.
is like moose and bear.
roaming bison and black bears.
Yeah, I love this one.
It's beautiful.
And the base is so soft. It's this nice, really nice single. But it's not so loosely plied that it drifts apart at all. And yet it's not so overspun that it kinks up on you a lot. It's really nice.
And this
base.
was just one of the bases it came on.
Yeah.
This is
It
probably
also-
the most popular. It's the one I've seen everywhere.
Yeah.
It also came on an
Chinook,
Chinook base, which is their Aran weight.
which we
I
sold
bought-
out of completely.
And they're waiting for more of their
base.
We're back. It's a phone, and she got a phone call.
I forgot to turn my ringer off. So, yeah. So, anyway, we were talking about the Fleece Artist yarn, and it's fabulous. And we're excited to get more of the...
and now she's got a voicemail.
We're excited to get more of the Chinook base when Fleece Artist gets it in and dyed, because it's just fabulous. Yeah. And I thought this would go away, so pardon me while I lean in and just remove that notice. So, so that's some of the yarn we carry in the store. We love Fleece Artists. They're great to work with. They have fabulous bases, and their colors are just amazing. Yeah. We actually don't have many of them left. Some of the ones I like the best we're sold out of right now, so we're waiting for an order. Yeah. But they're fabulous yarn.
Yes. So that was Whip Lucky Dip.
Yeah.
So what's next? Oh, acquisitions.
Acquisitions.
It's so weird. We don't we've had acquisitions every week. And
we normally have acquisitions about once a year.
Well,
maybe twice.
No, if we count, when we get in new yarn, we
buy
often
some
take
from
some
our
for
store.
ourselves.
Yeah. And I get Fibre a couple times a year.
Yeah, you get Fibre, but we don't normally have this many acquisitions, and it's just been a weird summer. But
yeah,
it's great. So my first acquisition is a skein of sock yarn, because that's what I needed. I have so much.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Okay, so this is Expression Fibre Arts. It is on the Resilient Superwash Merino sock, and it's called Orchard.
I love this electric acidy green in here. It's just fabulous.
I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but the twist on this yarn, I can't even show it off.
It's really high twist.
It's amazing. It has no nylon in it, so I don't think I'll do socks.
Yeah. But the higher twist should help it last a bit better no matter what you do with it.
It's gorgeous. So a friend of ours ordered it online because she loved it, but she's also...
Well, she loved the name.
She loves the name, and she got it, and she was like, it doesn't look like my orchard.
And she doesn't usually go for these
it's not her normal colors.
Greens. It wasn't quite what she expected.
Well, except it looks
gorgeous.
except it looks exactly like it is in the picture. But she's very the colorway name reminds her of something, and it makes sense, but I loved it.
It's beautiful.
And so I said, if you're not 100% happy, and you have too much green already, which she does have a lot of greens, you could sell it to me. So I got yarn.
So long story short, Cindy bought yarn.
It's lovely.
And
I'm really excited about it. Not a clue what I'm going to do with it. If you have any ideas.
Yeah. Feel free to share in comments or in our Ravelry group if you have ideas for anything we talk about. Feel free to share your ideas. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Sorry, I'm a dork. It's a yarn smile. I think we should show off that next.
Oh, well, you could call it a hat, which transitions us into our Grand Prairie trip.
Oh, yeah. We went to Grand Prairie yesterday.
We went to Grand Prairie, which is the local city. It's not a big city. It's like 12,000 people, but we've been...
It's 70,000.
70,000 people. So Dawson's 12,000. We've been looking for a while for heads to display hats on in the store, and we found some styrofoam ones, but they're a little small, so they work great for small women's size, but not for men's hats. So we bought a head. And it's a little creepy with nothing. Oh, get your hand out of there. But it's quite nice.
It's great.
It's
we can put one of my finished one on. Yeah. But yes, we went to the farmer's market in Grand Prairie and saw the Cozy Up with the Stitchin sisters.
Which was a lot of fun.
We'll get to that. And they had some of these and we were like, where'd you get them? And so, we went and got one because it's gorgeous. So we're going to have it on display here at the store.
It'll be fabulous.
We need to name it because we name everything.
And Cindy's current idea is to name it after a hockey player whose last name is Glass because it's a glass head.
Yeah. It's really, it's heavy.
It is. But that's good. It won't fall over easily.
I don't know why, but I find this really fun. I was like, for Halloween, we need to fill it up with candy and then
pick it up and
torture children because they can't get the candy.
You're so mean.
I'm mean. But yeah, that's our head. Yeah. He will get a name because we name everything. Our dishwasher is named. But you can go over here for now.
Okay. Well, we actually got some other stuff while we were in Grand Prairie because we went to the farmer's market and we saw 3 of the 4 Stitchin sisters. Jamie wasn't there when we got there, but I was looking at some Vivid yarn okay.
So nice.
I don't like stellina. I don't like sparkle. I don't like frills. I don't like
We're not
like a lot of
girls.
like girly things. They had a base that was, and I'm not huge on speckles. I don't mind them, but I'm not huge on them. The Vivid they had was speckled with pinks and purples and like it was very delicate looking and bright, and I was so attracted to it. And it was in a sparkle base, and they had the non-sparkle, and I loved the sparkle base better.
But the sparkle base
the stellina was so nice.
Yeah, really nice. That's Vivid
I will
yarn
get some at some
something.
point.
Vivid yarn collection. I don't know. I follow her on Instagram.
Vivid Yarns.
Anyway, and she does beautiful dyeing jobs.
So, but while I was looking away, trying to decide, should I get this? They had one that was packaged up with a mini for a heel-toe combination for socks. And while I looked away and thought about that, I saw something at the top of a shelf in the corner of their booth, and it was a bag. And I'd been thinking I needed a new bigger bag because most of mine are just little sock bags. And their mom makes JoJo's bags. So I got a JoJo's bags and I love it. And it's going to be perfect for my shawl, which will have a couple of different colors. So it'll fit a couple of balls.
Skeins, yeah.
So it's got this really cool grayish black granite on the top. There's another zipper here, which the pocket is the whole length of the stone fabric. And the back is the same granite. And the inside is this awesome, just kind of textured bluey green. It's beautiful. And it's got a couple more pockets inside. And it's a great bag. I love it.
They are amazing. Well, I got one too. Mine is a smaller size one. Yeah. So, yeah.
So this one will fit, I think, 2 to 3 skeins easily, plus my shawl.
Yeah.
Is maybe a 1 to 2 skein?
Yeah, easily. And it's got, I really like the handle. Yeah. And mine has, again, the pocket on the front, which is so handy.
Yeah, you can tuck your pattern in there or a couple of notions.
And then, even the small ones, all my hat stuff is in here, but it's got the
you've got the bicycle fabric inside, too.
Yeah, just on the top of the pockets there.
Yeah.
And the rest is this great little flowery one. And, it's bicycles. And I don't know why it appealed to me. I'm not a big...
It's a fun
It's
fabric.
just really fun, but without being, I don't know, frilly.
Yeah.
And I love this bluey gray.
I love that.
But and they're so well made.
Yeah.
They're fabulous. JoJo's bags.
And they stand up nicely, like it's nicely interfaced.
You can't see, but it just stands. It's really nice.
Yeah, nicely interfaced. I'm just holding the bottom and it stands up quite nicely.
And they are great, because, we needed more bags.
Yes. I do. I don't have many bags, actually. I have 3, which I've shown, and that's it. The rest comes... Yeah, plastic bags.
I somehow ended up with
cheap
more.
and utilitarian. I don't end up with a lot of plastic
bags. How did I end
bags.
up with... I got some Etsy gift certificates for Christmas a couple of years ago. So I spent those on bags and yarn. And,
So now I have bags. And I also have... we're going to transition from acquisitions into, that was a bag, so I'm going to show you another bag because a friend of ours made us these Notions pouches, and they're fabulous. So she was rummaging through her mom's house with the stuff they grew up in, like some of the stuff they should go through and see if they wanted, and she found some old curtains that were in, I forget if it was a shared room or her brother's room.
No, it was in her brother's bedroom.
But he was a hockey fan, and the curtains were hockey curtains, so they had the logos of all the different teams. And so she made us these awesome Notions pouches that had the logos of both of our teams.
So I'm a Penguins fan, and
I'm a Canadiens fan.
Yeah.
And so they're just great little Notions pouches.
Yeah.
And a good size. Like there's a
fabulous.
lot of stuff in there easily.
Okay, so the funny thing about them is that these curtains were around her mom's house, and her mom comes to our knit night. She is an amazing lady, but she saves everything. So these curtains were 50 years old.
Yeah.
And they had gone through probably
half a dozen
6 moves. Yeah. Yeah.
So Liz repurposed them, and we love our bags and our friend because she thought of us, and we're hockey fans, and she just thought that she couldn't pass up these curtains and not make something for us.
And
it was so adorable and so thoughtful.
Apparently hockey and knitting go well together.
They do.
They do.
And yeah, so
Which
we were
brings
actually
us
going
to
our last segment in every podcast we decided would be culture consumed. So any sort of cultural stuff we saw or read or media we've watched or anything like that is in this segment. And so this ties in well because this week hockey started. So much of my culture consumed this week has been hockey
games.
But yeah, it's been fun. It's nice that it's back and getting to see all your favorite players again.
Yeah. And my other culture consumed this week is actually hockey related as well. It's this adorable webcomic called Check Please.
It's cute.
It is.
It's adorable.
Yeah. It is about a boy named Biddy, Eric Biddle, but everyone calls him Biddy because that's his hockey nickname. And he is a ex-figure skater from Georgia who moves to a liberal arts college in Massachusetts to play hockey.
Because he can still skate at least that way, right?
That's well, he played hockey in Georgia, but he got a scholarship to go to Samwell University, and it's all about him and the rest of the hockey team, and it is absolutely fabulous. Even if you're not a hockey fan, you'll like it.
It's an adorable comic. I don't read a lot of comics, but I've read like the first year.
Well,
year
it goes in,
and it's fabulous.
It's being constantly updated, and so there's been 3 years of it so far, each of Eric's school years, and it's fabulous even if you don't like hockey. It even actually explains some of the hockey terminologies, like
just
flow.
So you can still enjoy the comic even if you're not at all a hockey fan.
And he is, because he really doesn't fit in, because he is, a 5'6" Southern baker who is gay, and he's playing, hockey, which should be unusual, but it's great, and it's just, it's fabulous. So that's my culture consumed this week, that and hockey.
Yeah. I've also watched some hockey. I finished just a little, but I finished the James Rollins book, The Sixth Extinction. Sorry, there's a fly buzzing around here. It's driving me crazy.
It has stealth capabilities.
She's quoting a TV show.
I am.
But it was great. I enjoyed it a lot, and as I predicted, the world is fine.
It did not end.
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed, in the back of this one, all of the science he talked about and all the technology he talked about. There was a whole 30-page research section that was, if you want more information about this technology or this science or this idea that is scientific but hasn't been tested yet. There were links to research papers and institutions that published information on them. And
if the book interested me at all, I would really like that. I'm a sucker for footnotes and endnotes.
Yeah.
Because I have a history degree.
They don't usually, the type of book I read doesn't usually come with footnotes and endnotes.
And it usually isn't based on real science.
Yeah, but it was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
Well, it's a great idea.
Yeah. And then mostly, other than hockey, it's been YouTube time. So I've been watching more of the Grocery Girls, trying to catch up.
I just started it. It's
fun. You all know about them. If you're watching knitting podcasts, you've
heard of
watched
them.
the Grocery Girls. But then the other one was PBS Space Time, because I have to have a little bit of science in my media consumed every time.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at her
She's
notes.
looking at my notes.
I don't know why.
So PBS Space Time is put out by PBS. They have a lot of great stations on YouTube now. But they talk about, obviously, Einstein's general and special relativity, but everything from black holes to planetary science to quantum entanglement, a little bit of everything. It's a slightly different topic every episode, and they're great. They changed hosts about 3/4 of the way through the first season, and it was kind of cutesy at first, but I really love the new host. And really nice accent too.
Oh,
I'm a sucker for an accent.
Yeah.
But the science is fun, and it's explained afterwards. There's a challenge, and you can try and do the math and physics yourself, or you can just listen
just
along.
listen and learn.
Which is what I usually do. I don't try to do it. I just enjoy the show. So, but that's been my cultural stuff.
It's been our week. Wait, this is really weird. It's going to be just a week. It'll normally probably be 2 weeks before every episode.
Yeah.
But we were like, long weekend!
We were late with the last episode, and this is a long weekend, so we can only ever really record on Sundays, so long weekends are a naturally easier time for us to record. So we thought, since last one was late, we'll do this one on time. And
so happy Thanksgiving, Canadians.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, happy Thanksgiving. Actually, tomorrow will be Thanksgiving here. Probably we'll get this up by tomorrow. So happy Thanksgiving if you're watching this. And for our American friends, if we don't see you before then, happy Thanksgiving in a couple of weeks.
November. I think we should be back before then.
Back. But, intentions don't always work out.
When is Thanksgiving in the States? Third Thursday? The only reason we would know when Thanksgiving in the States is because we also have Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
I'm not a big online shopper. I shop for Fibre, but those don't usually go on sale for Black Friday.
Our basically our best friend and staff member is the queen of Black Friday shopping.
She is. She'll shop her brains out and then
forget everything she ordered.
Everything she ordered, and as it comes in, she's like, "Oh, I forgot about that.
It's really fun though. It's really fun though because we get all of our packages, even personal packages, and her packages delivered to the store. So it's like the mail
lady
thinks we're hilarious because we're like packages, and so sometimes it's for the store, and sometimes that's fun, sometimes not so fun. Usually, though, it's for us.
The personal packages are always fun when we get, a giant box of Fibre or yarn.
Yeah. Well, that's for the store.
But there are personal interests.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, our tea boxes usually are pretty fun, too.
Yes, they smell amazing. Mm-hmm. Actually, we didn't talk about that today.
Oh, yeah.
She's cheating and drinking
I'm drinking Coke.
This is my addiction. This year.
Yes, an excellent vintage.
I'm actually drinking our Yoga Blend tea. And I really like the spicy teas, chais and stuff like that. And this one's an herbal tea, and it's got cassia and ginger and black pepper and cloves, and it's just lovely. I like it.
It's a pretty good one. I like the Thai chai better, but if you're going for
lot of similar flavors,
for a spicy, non-caffeinated tea, it's really good.
Yeah. So I think that's probably it for us this week. So happy Thanksgiving. If you lasted through the episode and you've been here before, thanks for coming back. If you're new, we'd love for you to subscribe, and we'd love to hear your comments or opinions if you have recommendations on any of the stuff we talked about, or opinions like, no, don't do it, it's a stupid idea. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. She can't put on a hat.
Come see us on our Ravelry group. We're trying to get a little more active. I'm terrible. I'm never on Ravelry.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of our local knitting ladies aren't big on Ravelry. Yeah. So we have a few people who interact regularly, but not a whole lot. But if you're interested, we'd love to have you. Ravelry is a great place. If you haven't been there, you totally should. Most people have at least heard about it, even if they don't go there regularly. So
should we say our Ravelry names?
So our store account and our group are called Faking Sanity on Ravelry. I am Montréalaise, which is a holdover from being French and living in Montreal for a few years. So it's MTL, which is a standard abbreviation for Montreal. So MTLAISE means Montrealer in French. So.
And I'm Parian on Ravelry, just an old nickname related to Lord of the Rings. Because I'm a nerd. And actually, our Instagram accounts as well. On Instagram, I am Small Town Canadian, or CDN. Yeah. Shortination. It's a shortination.
She mocks me for making up words, so she's not going to live this one down.
It's a shortination. So I'm Small Town Canadian, and you are?
I am Montrealer in DC, so also abbreviated. Abbreviation?
Shortination. I'm going to use that totally.
I am MTLER in DC, so Montrealer in Dawson Creek on Instagram.
And we'd love to have you come.
Yeah, come check us out. Tell us who you are. Tell
We're
us what
not terribly active, but we try.
Yeah. And it's always more fun to have a two-way conversation than talking to empty space. So let us know what you're knitting. Let us know if you have recommendations for the show, for the podcast. Let us know. We'd love to. And now it's getting weird. So I think we're gonna go.
My little friend will make some appearances on my Instagram.
Of course he will.
Of course he will. I have to show off my hats. I knit a lot of hats. You'll see them soon.
Hats are fun. They're fast.
So,
I think we'll leave you there.
Because we're getting crazy.
And have a great week.
Have a great week.